Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Luxury Live Show. If you're new, this is our weekly live show, and I've got my co-host here, fashionably Amy. So we're a little bit late because we were prepping for this live stream today. And as you saw the thumbnail, we are going to talk about FOMO, right? So before I get into that, if you're new, we do this luxury live show alternatively on my channel and then also on Amy's channel. So make sure you follow the both of us. We talk about all things luxury. We cover a variety of topic. It can be anything: handbags, jewelry, shoes, clothing, ready to wear. And as much as we want to make it very relatable for all of you. So, and I think today's topic is very relatable. I see it is very, especially in the luxury community. So before we start and dive right into this topic, and I think it's going to be a very lively chat, it is like third week celebration already? Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Celebration last week.
Yeah.
Well, last couple weeks.
Yeah, so this is our 1 year celebration for 2 weeks. So we did 1 week on my channel, then 1 week on Amy's channel, and now coming back to this week because we are going to announce the winners from last week. So in last week's giveaway, we had Mavery and we also had Samoga. And, in our excitement, we actually kind of forgot to say, you got to follow their IG. So we actually updated the forms. We updated and constantly put out there and communication so that all of you are following. So I'm just going to share some slides first. Hang on, give me a second. Okay. Oh. Wait a minute. What did I do? This happens when we are prepping for things. And
yeah.
Okay, can you see that? I think you can see that, right?
Yeah.
Let me put it into a screen. Lovely. All right. So as you can see, FOMO. Let's talk about it. But before we go into it, we want to congratulate KK Loves CC and JT. We found
hey babe, can I just interrupt you?
Yep.
My screen is showing just like the first slide, which is, it's not showing as like the presentation. It's just showing your PowerPoint.
Okay, let me do that again. Oh, this is like Microsoft Teams. When you change it to presentation mode, you got to share again.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Let me do that.
Yeah, let's try that again.
Technical issues, keeping it real.
Bear with us.
All right, is that better?
Yes, much better.
Okay, great. So we want to congratulate KK. Oh, wait, now it's not moving. All right, KK Loves CC and JT. Congratulations. We used some random generator and we found your names, and awesome comment, because we asked the question, like, which was your favorite luxury live stream throughout the year, because we've been on this for a year. And I'm just going to read your sharing out. I like the ones where the two of you reflect on your purchases or give opinions on popular items. Been watching since the beginning. You two are pioneers. Yes!
Thank you. And congratulations, KK Love CC.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we've been doing this for, actually, we shared about it, right? We've done this for more than a year, actually, but together as a joint live, it's been a year.
Yes.
So thank you. Okay, and JT is a long one. All right, I'm going to read it. Hi, I started watching last year, but I have to say my favorite shows to watch are the ones where you talk about trends of luxury items, but also include visuals. Yep. That helps me see what you're referring to, and also definitely appreciate your opinions when it comes to upcoming trends. You love the sprinkling of Hermes journey updates, and I especially like when you have Isabel and Clara, as it brings more perspective to the luxury world. Like a real-time international girl chat of all things luxury. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for your amazing comment. Actually, everyone gave really, really long, amazing comments, and we read them, and really thank you for your
It was
sharing.
really, really nice to read everyone's comment, what they thought, which were their most favorite. It was all over the place, huh? Everyone's favorites were all over the place.
Yeah,
it's like I guess our topics are pretty good.
And I think one of the common things that came across, and I know it's like, we shouldn't be self-praised, but one of the things that we feel is that we're very relatable. Like we're just regular people, which I think today's topic we're gonna touch on that as well. So Mavery, follow their IG, people. Even if didn't win this time, make sure you follow their IG. She has Stella and Jody have amazing things today. I saw one of their pictures, like some earrings, and I'm like, oh no, star earrings. I need star earrings. So congratulations to KK, loves CC. 100 pounds of any jewelry on their site. So I'm going to share your name, and I think you also left your contact to Mavery, and then they will contact you on this. There is also a special discount code with our luxury live show with Mavery, LLS15. You get 15% off site-wide. So make sure you guys go and check it out. Amazing jewelry, amazing company. Support the small business, right? Okay, Samorga, and this is one piece. Congratulations to JT. Amy, you'll be contacting JT,
Yeah,
right?
I'll just email you JT, and then basically you can choose any one item on their site. It can be anything. You can get a custom organizer, you can get a strap, you can even get one of those new bags here that you see in the middle that they have. It's so cute, actually. So yeah, just choose one of the. Anyway, I'll be emailing you, and then we'll go from there. I'll get your contact information. I'll get your choice of price, and then I'll forward all that to Samorga.
Yay. All right, so okay, we will do the live Q&A at the end of our sharing about FOMO. We're going to talk about it. So if you are new and new to this live show, we actually have on a new platform, right, this StreamYard, where it's a little different from YouTube. So put a bunch of question marks in the front of your question, and that will help us see your question, and I can pull it to the middle. All right, let me come back to the screen. Great. Yay. Yes, congratulations. Okay, let's get into it, right? We'll talk about it for about half an hour, and then we'll get it open to the Q&A. And really, we want the live, like we have 122 people. We want the chat to be like really lively. So I've got some notes here because I want to make sure that I cover why we're talking about FOMO. So today, really, the word FOMO, I think even on my channel, I have 2 videos on FOMO already, like really like, oh my God, FOMOing. And FOMO is a very popular word right now on YouTube. I think I've saw several videos with FOMO. FOMO has popped up. It's very relatable. I think it's a relatable word, fear of missing out. You haven't heard of word FOMO, but fear of missing out. It's not only relatable in the luxury community, but if you enjoy shopping in general, like it is a like an enjoyable escape. You can appreciate the word and relate to it, FOMO, because there are so many things in life that you can FOMO in. Not only luxury community, but because we are in the luxury community in the thick of things, when we hear price increases, we get a little bit like FOMO. We hear limited edition, we hear the word FOMO. So that's why we want to talk about it. So we want to keep it light. Yeah, I want to say this. We want to keep it light. It's not so serious. Okay, so I want to set the stage of this conversation. 126 of us plus the 2 of us, maybe that's 128 of us. We are in, I was going to say a coffee shop, but I think 126 people in a coffee shop might be a really big coffee shop. But imagine like a little mini large room. We're all sitting down for a couple of hours. You're all having our cup of coffee, and somebody says, did you know there's a price increase? And all 126 of us get really, really excited. And we're just like, oh my God, so it's a lively, excitable chat. And when we leave this coffee, let me just have a sip of coffee. When we leave this coffee chat, we get on with our lives. Okay, it's not so serious. It is just this moment in time that we just like, oh my gosh, we're doing all this FOMOing things. But then when we go away, we've got other things to think about. So it's want to keep it light. All right, we're dramatic now, like any kind of coffee chat with our girlfriends, our friends, our luxury friends, our shopping friends. But then we're done. Then we do our regular things as we go on with our lives. Okay, so I'm just setting the stage because we don't want people to say, oh my gosh, it's so FOMO is so beneath me. You know, I'm so much better than FOMO. We know. Okay, we're just chatting. All right, so I'm setting the stage. Today we're gonna talk about when we FOMO. So Amy and I, we do FOMO. So we're gonna talk about what we do, what happens to us when we are actually FOMOing. So when we hear pricing, what we do, right? What happens to us? How suddenly we change. So Amy's gonna share, and I'm gonna be like, yes, yes, yes. And then towards the end, we're gonna also share what we kind of do to hook ourselves out of that FOMOing situation, that cloud, right? So I'm gonna pass it to Amy, and yeah, we'll hear you guys talk as well.
Okay. Thank you, Kat. Oh my gosh, I feel so nervous now because I'm like, oh, I hope that I cover everything. I have my notes here too. But yeah, like Kat was saying, FOMO is such a real, raw emotion, kind of like a temporary feeling, all these excitement, adrenaline that you get when something happens. So for us in this luxury community is when a big price increase happens, or if there is a brand new collection that everyone wants to get, like limited edition, or it could just be because they are very hard to get and all these colors, everyone wants them. So it could be a number of reasons. And as for me, so I just want to bring up an example of something that I've been literally FOMOing for, well, FOMOing and also getting a bit, very like mind boggled, thinking about it all the time, researching all the time is, and I blame Kat on it, is the Bottega Veneta pouch, and also even the Jody, because those two are kind of like the current trendy bags that everyone's getting into, especially the intrecciato, the weaving one, and the mini size, because I'm not so much into the big size. I mean, I appreciate it, but after Kat got hers, the green one, I'm like, oh my goodness, do I need one too? And I've been researching. So that was one of the items as an example of what I've been FOMOing lately.
So you do a lot of
some
research,
of the things
right?
that happens.
You get into researching, right? You're like,
yeah. So some of the things that happens when I'm FOMOing is I do a lot of research. So I would be looking up IG photos, looking up how people wear it, how they style it, reading the comments, like what are the good or the bad about it. I'll do some searches on purse forums sometimes because there's a lot, like people share a lot about. But for those pouches, I saw less about talking about those. I mean, there's still some information, but a little bit less than I would have loved. And I'm telling you, I spent hours watching all the reviews, like all the YouTube videos on the pouch, on the boat, on the Jody, and what's the pros and cons, and just trying to see which one fits me. Because I'm like, I feel like I need that bag, and it's good and it's bad because I know I shouldn't go there because I just bought a beautiful classic flap and why don't I enjoy that more, right? Like, I mean, it's not that I don't enjoy it. I obviously enjoy it, but it's just one of those things where you're like, now you see everyone has it. And for the record, I never wanted this bag. It was something that a lot of other influencers started getting throughout the last year. I think like a lot of influencers started getting more and more and more. I saw Claire Chanel got it, Isabel got it, and I was still not. It was still not on my radar because I was like, oh, okay, it's nice, but it's not for me, right? Because I'm so into Chanel too. But I don't know why when when everyone gets it and literally all the other influencers on like on IG, on YouTube, everyone gets it. And then Kat gets it. I'm like, okay, do I need it now? Do I need it now? So yeah, I do a lot of research. And then after all the research, I get into this crazy mode, right? I start thinking, can I sell something to get it? How do I I want to feel less guilty about it. Like, can I sell one of my own things to get it? Or maybe I'll look into my bank account or look at my Visa account and see if I have the funds, like if I have the extra funds, I should say, because I always have savings, but like, do I have the extra that I can spend on it.
Play around with it, right? You're like, oh, maybe this one. You're checking like, oh my god, okay, maybe we don't. Maybe we should do
Or
this.
if I don't have the extra fund and I don't have that saving because I budget for, let's say I budget for my Birkin and all that, like that I was planning for, right? I didn't plan for a Bottega bag. So if I don't have the funds and my Visa card is like full and I have to pay for it, for the record, I always pay the whole amount because I only use it for the points. Can I still get it? Like I ask myself, can I still get it? Will it still affect me? Can I still dip into my savings and I can still feel comfortable about it? So those are the things that like I start working out in my head. That's like the crazy Amy mode, right? Like, can you sell something? Can you just find the funds somewhere? Can you still afford it anyway if you don't have the funds or you don't have that extra fund that you would have wished, like that extra cushion? Oh, and by the way, my phone explodes whenever I'm like FOMOing about a bag because I would save a ton of screenshots, and not just screenshots of the bag, right? I save screenshots of people wearing the bag because I want to see how they style it. I would watch tons of YouTube videos of what fits. And then after all this craziness, because I still haven't pulled the trigger, and I usually am quite good at controlling myself, even though I go through all these phases. And okay, you guys should comment on the comment section. How many of you actually do those things? Or am I
Yeah,
is it
let
different?
us
I hope it's not
know.
different
Like,
because
don't.
then I'm really crazy.
Correct,
So
yes.
after all these things, I ask myself, okay, is there another alternative? Or even from my own collection, is there another bag that I can use instead? Because now I'm trying to sort of, if I haven't pulled the trigger at this point, because I guess I'm just FOMOing and it's not that important, how do I get out of it, right? How do I get out of it? And can I find an alternative? And actually, before I even get into how I get out of it, I just wanted to say that, because, we have this connotation that FOMO is bad. It's not, guys. Come on. FOMO, it happens in any sort of everyday life thing. Like think about eating junk food, or if you enjoy a good glass of wine, or if you're into entertainment like gambling, like FOMOing can be applicable in those areas. So I don't gamble, I don't drink. So I'll just give the example of, say, junk food. For me, I love chocolate, I love chips. I eat it almost every day. However, moderation is key, right? You have to control yourself. I eat it almost every day, but I also do other things. Like I make sure that I eat my main meals first, and I eat good stuff, like nutritious stuff. I take all my supplements. I do all of that goodness. And that my everyday lifestyle, I try my best anyway. I know it's not perfect, but I try my best to sleep well, to exercise, all those things, right? So if you do everything in moderation, if you do all those good things first, then you can afford to cheat.
FOMO.
So FOMO is like cheating, right?
Yeah, it's like a cheat meal. You can go all out, and when people come and tell you, hey, first world problems, like, dude, everything else in my life is good. Okay, just stay out of this. Stay out of my FOMO. Because let me FOMO. Cause if I am absolutely like this, God, life is so boring. You gotta have like. You got to do that, otherwise.
Exactly. And also another example I want to give you, even with junk food, is if you have enough health reserve, and I listen to a lot of podcasts, and especially even YouTube videos where it talks about mostly health, and it's so true. When I already do that, but like when I heard it, it really hit me. I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I'm able to cheat, and that's why I'm able to have my chocolate every day, because if you have a good health reserve, like you do everything right, and after you've done it's almost like doing homework. If you've done all your homework, all your job, then at the end of the day you can relax, you can watch that TV show, you can do all that
all day, all night.
So if you have a good health reserve, then yeah, you can cheat. So it's same with FOMO. If you've been saving, and like in my case, I'm always very, very sensible with money. Whatever I add to my collection, I try anyway. It serves its purpose, and it really rounds up my collection. I waited all these years to add a classic flap. Okay, I don't know how many people does that, like except for Kat. I honestly don't know how many people actually wait till and they get it when it's the right moment. and you bite the bullet because you just feel like it's the right one, even though technically, do I need it? No. Am I happy without it? Yes and no. Like I'm okay. I can live without it, right? But I'm so happy that I finally got it. And there was a bit of FOMO when it came to the classic also. But yeah, if you have a good health reserve, if you've been saving and you've been good, sure, just treat yourself. Just cheat once in a while. So anyway, I just want to say that FOMO is not all bad. So how do I get out of it, right? Yeah, I evaluate my collection. Is there any other bag that is similar function or even look that I can use? Yes or no? I have a lot of small bags. So yes, I definitely have similar function bags. I talk to my friends. I talk to Kat. I talk to Clara. I talk to Isabel. I try my best to be like asking my friends, okay, please tell me what's bad about it. What's bad about it? Do I really need it? Can I wait? Usually that kind of either distracts you or sometimes actually they encourage you. But sometimes, depending on what they say, you sort of also think about, oh yeah, this could apply to, or oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then one big thing that I think about, and I think a lot of you guys come to our show for, is the price. Is it worth it for that trendy bag, right? So the Bottega bag, even though those two styles are very classic, it's still a trend in a way because it's been very trendy lately. So to me, it's like, is it worth it for it's kind of like the value for the price versus trend. Can I wait? Because a lot of times, and especially for other brands anyway, I can shop elsewhere. I can look on these online retailers such as Matches Fashion, Essence, Louisa Vioroma, all those ones, Farfetch. I can wait for a coupon. I can wait for Black Friday. So I don't necessarily need it now, right? Even if in the end, even if I decide to add it, can I wait and can I save money somehow, right? I know for Chanel you can't wait, but so that's a different whole ball game. But anyway, that's what I've been following lately. And then what else did I want? Guilt. Yeah, it's pretty much that. Like, can I just let time pass and be kind of like out of sight, out of mind type of thing? And I feel like I have, like last week I was crazy FOMOing about that bag, but now I'm like, I've actually calmed down. I've actually thought that I'll just wait for an opportunity for a sale to happen. And also I don't want to feel so guilty about not using what I just added to my collection, or my beautiful collection actually, that I can just enjoy while I wait for that opportunity to get it if I still want it at that time. And usually with time, sometimes the longer you wait, the more you forget about it too. So we'll see if it ends up in my collection. But I feel like I told you a lot of what was going on in my head, but honestly, it was only a few days of FOMOing. But all this happened. Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
How many of you guys do that? I really want to know.
I mean, we have like 24 hours in a day, right? If you're a light sleeper, you have a few hours, but then you have so much time. So it just feels like a lot because we're talking about it in a whole video. It's like, oh my God, they're so crazy. It's always on your mind. But really, it's like pockets of the day, like sitting there eating your lunch. You're like, oh man, let me just check it out one more time.
I know. It's temporary insanity.
Thank you.
So yeah, that was my story.
Okay.
Hope you guys can relate to some degree, but that's usually what happens when I want something really, really bad, and I just don't want to miss out. I just like, oh, am I missing out? Am I missing something? Actually, by the way, this Chanel Factory 5. I don't feel anything about it. I don't even want it, but I don't understand why so many people do. And I feel like all these people are FOMOing about the Chanel Factory number 5. I don't see what the appeal is, honestly. Maybe because I'm not into makeup and like all those things. I just use what I use, which is the boring stuff. And I cannot even review those things because it's always the same thing. But yeah.
That's a good one, actually. When I first saw the Chanel number 5 beauty launch, when it first came out, like I saw it on Bagaholic Boys video or something, and I was like, eh. And then more and more keep coming out, and I'm starting to feel a little bit like, should I get it?
But you're into makeup and you're into skincare, so maybe for you,
I
It's like your
know.
junk food, right? Because you
It's my
love that
junk
stuff.
food.
For me, it's like, I don't care.
Exactly. So it's relatable to me because I was like, should I get that bath salt? But I think what's like the only thing that I could probably consider is that dang water bottle. Like, I could use it for my background, but apparently it's so hard to get. It's sold out. Everything like okay, that's it. It's not enough for me to chase it down. And I think one of the good things is this whole launch, it's very home, bath, shower gel related. If they had some lipsticks, I think
Right.
I would die. But it's not. It's more packaging and it's more like, if you take a bath, I don't even have a bathtub. Okay. So I can't relate, but I can appreciate the packaging. But yeah, the amount of it coming on the screen, and I was like, maybe do I want it? Do I want it? Not sure. But yeah, thank you for the sharing. So I'm gonna agree on everything Amy said. Like when I FOMO, I go through it. Like you saw my two videos, it's dramatic at that point in time, and I feel it, and I can laugh. I think the good thing is we can laugh at ourselves for FOMOing because it is ridiculous.
It is.
It is. It's like constantly like, oh my God. But at the same time, I also think of it as a little fun because it's like a little chase. And we as humans, we like to chase things, unfortunately. And yeah, I went through that as well. So I'll search. I may not do research in like purse forums because I'm not familiar with that, but I would watch a ton of YouTube videos. I would be like, so the bag that I was researching so much was actually my YSL puffer bag because I had a moment like, oh my gosh, I need this bag. And I was watching so many videos, which I have a funny story on, which I'll talk about after I finish. So I was watching one and I told Amy, I was like, some of these videos don't look quite right, but never mind, I'll just watch them anyway. And then I'll go through the same thing. I'll look at my savings account and be like, maybe I won't save so much this month. And maybe we'll dig it out. And then we'll pay myself back next month. But maybe not. Then I'll look at my handbag collection going like, I think you gotta go. You're up. No, you're up. And yeah, I think that's what I go through. And then I'll start to rationalize it in my head, like, yeah, I kind of need it. This will fit into my lifestyle. The color is really good. And strangely, things that I never wanted, I want. So your example was the BV bag, right? You know what's my example? The LV toiletry pouch. When the news came out, but this was such a short FOMO, like really short, because I snapped myself out of it really quickly. Everyone I think on the live was saying, did you know that the LV toiletries, I think it's all your fault, okay? It's all the Luxie's fault for making me FOMO shortly for it. So it's going to be discontinued. Did you know that? And for just that short burst of a moment, I was like, oh, discontinued? I need it. I went onto the LV site and I was like, oh my gosh, it's gone. It's gone. And there was this loud voice in the back of my head going like, girl, heck are you doing? You never wanted it in the first place. I was like, oh, okay.
Same. It's like I never wanted a Bottega bag. I mean, I like looking at other people wear theirs, but I didn't want it. Why did I all of a sudden get so obsessed about it? It's just insane how extreme the emotions get.
But yeah, because when you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
Then the other example is the classic flag. Last year I told myself, this is it. Goodbye, Chanel. See you later. We're never buying it unless we go overseas. And then I see everyone unboxing, including Amy, the classic gray flag. I'm like, that's it. We're doing it. We're doing it. We are dropping $11,000. But you know what stopped me? I mean, for real, this FOMO was bad because the price was just like insane. I guess I can FOMO with other things and have fun with it because, it doesn't really do a huge dent. I mean, it does kind of like, then you just save again. But with that dent, that is like a crater-sized dent. So I think when the the price is bigger, I think the FOMO is more intense, like the feeling of, should I get it now? And it just feels more stressful. Whereas the smaller items, they're just kind of fun, kind of FOMO. You're like, oh, should I get it? Should I get it? You're not such a, it's not such a big financial hit. But when it's like a classic flap, which I was like, oh my God, should I do this? I know I shouldn't. It's so irresponsible.
No, actually, it's a good point because it the Bottega bag is not that expensive. It's actually really, really well priced. But for me, it feels very impactful because not only did I just add the classic flap, right? There's that. I just spent a whole chunk of money, but I'm still waiting for my dream bag from Hermes.
True.
And that I planned, right? So those two, I mean, okay, the Hermes I planned, but the classic flap was not planned, but I still was, because I was preparing for the Hermes, I really did extra stuff to have that cushioning. But I didn't plan for anything else other than that, right? Like I didn't plan anything else. So even the Bottega, even though it was not super expensive, I just felt like, oh, okay, no. I really have to control myself,
So that's how we pull ourselves out, right? So same for the classic flap. I think not having that cushion fun, because I mean, like, I bought a Birkin at the beginning of the year, I'm still trying to pay cat, well, kind of paid cat back, but still, I'm like, cat still my other cat, which I talk about in another video. Yeah, so it's a huge amount. Like, again, like, hello, 11,000. I'm not made of money, but that's the logical cat talking. So in a way, that kind of when I FOMO for more expensive things, feel it's more intense, but it's still a FOMO, kind of fun, like, oh, what should I do? Get a bit emotional about it. And I agree, the researching can take hours, but it's the time, it's the spare time, like lunchtime, sitting there, I'm taking a break from work. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to check this bag again. This is just insane. And then I look for alternatives as well. And I think I do the same thing as you. I just sort of give it a bit of time. And for me, for the classic flap, I didn't really give it. There was no time. It was just like, just shut it off from the brain. Like, okay, that's it. No more watching YouTube. No more seeing people unboxing it. Just stay away for a few days. When the price is up, that's it. Say goodbye and don't even talk about it. And for me, another way to get out of FOMO is to talk about it, which is what you're doing, right, Amy? You talk about it. You just say, Isabel, should I get this bag? Because sometimes it's risky at the same time, because you could flip the other way, like, girl, you need it. If you get the confirmation, then you're doomed. But if you have friends that say, nah, just wait, and it kind of like snaps you out from this stupor, like this cloud of FOMO. So talking about it does really help. And I think I'm not going to generalize, but I feel like most women, we like to talk, which is why you guys are all on this luxury live show. We just love to talk. So the moment we let it all out, all that pent up emotion, we actually feel better, and we're like, okay, yeah, doesn't sound so right. We rationalize it as we talk about it.
And also, when you talk about it, sometimes your friends remind you of your own advice. Yeah, because you know better too. You know it. Like, whenever you guys come to our live show and you ask us something, because we're on the third, like, we're on the, we're kind of like another lens. We're not so in the bubble of where you're at, like you're FOMOing. We can give you our objective advice, and we know better. We know that, just wait for the discount, or in the case of Kat, for her, it's like, she, of course, she always wanted a classic flop in the beige color, but beige is like, it's always going to be there, and she will have an opportunity to travel eventually, right? She can get it in Paris like she planned to do originally. So, and that's the thing, exactly. Not, it's just, if it's not the right time now, even if there's a price increase later, when you get it when it's the right time, it will feel so much better than regretting doing what FOMO made you do, right? So you kind of get reminded of your own advice too, and you're like, oh yeah.
I don't hear my own advice. I don't hear it. Not when you're FOMOing. So Yeah, I absolutely agree. Because, when you guys ask us a question, you kind of know your answer already. You know, I mean, like, you kind of know it, but you just need the confirmation or somebody to say, hey, you gotta listen to yourself, because the instinct is the instinct, the conscience is right. So talking about it, you really just let it out, and friends will say, yo, hear your own advice, and it snaps you out, right? Snaps you out. So that's how we kind of kick ourselves out from the FOMO. And yeah, I think that's about it, right? And then after that, we just move on with our lives, many other things to
Yeah.
do.
You go back to work.
Go back to work, earn the money for the next FOMO.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you. So this is our little chat about what happens when we FOMO, like when we go through the motion, and we're telling this to everyone, talking about it in a live stream format, because we want to hear from you. I think this is a very relatable in any aspect. It's just something that we say we don't want to, we are so good, but honestly, something in your life, you will have a bit of that. It could be a plane ticket. It could be oh my gosh, there's a discount at the supermarket. You're like, oh, I need to get that right now. So it's that little thing, right? So, but in the luxury community, it's just that we're talking about bags. And then how we get out of it. So next week, we're going to continue a little bit more. We're going to tell you on Amy's channel our FOMO purchases.
Yeah. And surprisingly, a lot of them worked out, but we'll still share some that did not work out. So I think you guys will love that episode as well.
Yeah. So today we're talking about trying to get ourselves out of it. But, there are times where FOMO won. And, we can laugh about it. We're happy with some. But yeah, I got my notes here like, that didn't work out. Okay, thank you, Amy. I'm gonna now open the chat, and let me just put this banner. So you just joined us. We are gonna start the live Q&A right now, and you can see, put a bunch of like question marks, 2 or 3 of them in the front before you ask your question, so that I can actually see it, because I see a lot of chatter, and it's amazing because Luxies love to just chat with each other. You're all friends here. I think recognize everybody's names, recognize each other's names. So we'll skip through those if they don't have a question mark. All right, let's go. Oh, okay, here. I think this is one. This is earlier, maybe before I shared about the question mark. So Christine Hirata, FOMO or buyer's regret after taking the plunge is worse.
Yeah, for sure. Buyer's regret is worse.
Yeah.
Missing out can feel very, very, very intense for sure, especially when it comes to usually limited edition, limited colors, or just a very seasonal bag. For example, one example I can just give you off the top is that pearl bag from 19S. I still feel like that was something that I really missed. That still hurts. But the longer the time has passed, especially now that I have my focus on something else, which is I want to get my first Hermes bag, and also I just added the beautiful classic flap, it really faded. So yes, the FOMO part can feel very intense, and can feel very intense for even a long time, depending on what that item is. But if you regret a purchase because of FOMO, that's probably worse, I feel, because then you're going to feel guilty, and then you're going to have to sell it. And the selling process, we always say here that it's very, very difficult, very risky. And sometimes it's just, you lose money, which is, you lose time, you lose money, you lose sleep about it. So I feel like it's worse. I feel like it's better to miss out sometimes, because there's always something else. There's always something new that you can put your focus on later.
Yeah.
We cannot own everything under the sun. That is the thing, though, right? We have to remind ourselves that sometimes it's just not meant to be. And if you don't have it, maybe it's just not meant to be.
Yep, I absolutely agree with everything, because when you FOMO, it just feels really intense. I think that's the perfect word when you're passionate about something. When you're passionate, very likely it feels intense. So that it just feels worse. You're like, oh my God, I missed out. But buying and regretting later is also, and the other extreme, you just feel like, oh, I'm so sick of myself. So I
Yeah.
think FOMO is a more acceptable feeling compared to buyer's regret.
And I just want to add, if you want to like look at it from a practical lens, if you regret a purchase, you already spent that amount, that chunk of money. So your opportunity cost to get something else, you don't have it anymore. Especially if we're talking about being sensible at spending. We're not talking about, just charging everything to your Visa and be that and
Get in
anyway.
debt.
So so it's better to miss out than you can actually concentrate on something else and buy something else that comes up later that's still very nice, that you actually like more later. Yeah.
True. Okay, let's go to the next one. Azhar, what is your favorite purchase that you've made this year so far? I know what Amy's one is.
I know what you're gonna say too.
I'm gonna guess. Obviously, it's her classic flap.
Yeah, duh.
What's mine?
Yours, your Birkin. That was a big goal that you achieved, and it was so like you were so excited, and we were also like we were so excited for you for so many weeks.
Yeah. And I kept it from everybody. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe this. I cannot. Actually, I sat on that bag for a few weeks. And I think a lot of the Luxies know, like, you took like a month to reveal this? Because the shock, I think the shock factor of getting that bag was just like, did this just happen? Like, what? Is that real? So yeah, definitely. And for you as well, right? I think getting a perfect gray classic flap.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I even gave up, right? I gave up because I knew when my essay tells me that no, they don't have it available, I know she's not lying. At least I believe her, because she's always been someone who's very straightforward with me, and we don't play games, right? There's no mind game or anything. There's just yes or no, if I can get it or not. But I just asked again because I'm like, oh, I really want it. So like, if it comes in, if more comes in, because at least before they would like, I think before Chanel was a little bit more lenient, they would share a bit more information. So like, let's say they ordered 5, they can tell you that, oh, we have ordered 5, there should be still more coming in. But now they just don't even share that information. So I just say, just in case there's more coming in, could you please let me know? And I literally was shocked when I got her DM again a few hours later. I was like, okay, I'll buy it.
Give it to me. Oh my gosh. That's the kind of feeling that that was the similar feeling that I got with the caramel bag. Maybe I'm giving a hint. The caramel bag is kind of like a FOMO bag. Hint for next week. But
I feel like everything is FOMO a little bit.
Yeah.
Depends on the degree of FOMO.
But yeah, when you get the text, you're like, no, what? You have one? Like, really? Okay, I'm there. I'm there. Oh, thank you. Okay, so those are our best purchases this year so far. Joe overjoyed. I was certain that I was going to let go of my single flat gray jumbo. But with the price increase, I'm not sure anymore. I'm so frustrated with my perverse logic. What's your advice?
So you bought it. You just bought it, and I guess you're having this doubt now. See?
No, she didn't buy it. She's gonna let it go.
Right.
Oh, right.
So FOMO got you this time.
Gonna let go of my bag with the price increases. Oh, you're not sure you're gonna sell it. She's not sure if she wants to sell it anymore. Right? Is that right? I'm getting the question right.
I feel like why you want to sell it is like the why is so important. Is it because of the size? Or are you because I guess you're just worried that if you sell it you won't be able to buy it back. But then if
Mm,
the size is not the size that you like, because I'm assuming it could be the size. Yeah, single flap gray color. Sorry. That's an old bag. I
so
honestly have a similar thought too, and that's why I'm still holding on to my single flap jumbo flap, because, like you said, prices are astronomical now. If I really wanted to re-add the single flap, I mean, re-add a jumbo flap, it's like, is it even worth it? Like, I can't even go there. However, I feel like I'm just holding on right now because I just want to wait and see. But eventually, or if I decided to sell it, I would be okay with it, because I don't really favor the larger size anymore or anyway. And if I didn't have it, even if I could have worn it once in a while, if while I had it, it's not going to make that big of an impact for me. So I might miss it from the point of view of, oh yeah, it's a classic shape. It's so expensive because it's a jumbo size. But if you're not going to wear it, you might just miss it once in a while. But if it's not going to really impact your day to day of how you, like, what kind of bag that you prefer to carry, maybe it's okay to sell it. You know what I mean?
yep. One question I sometimes ask myself if I'm unsure of a bag is, would I buy it today?
Yeah.
If the answer is yes, I would still buy it today, then most likely I wouldn't sell it, just because I know that I may regret it in the future. So for my jumbo as well, uh, I'm in the same dilemma, like thinking, okay, I don't really use big bags anymore, though I do use larger bags than Amy. So I think I'm really on the fence for it. And a few times I almost sold it and I tried it on. I'm like, oh man, I don't mind having this bag in my collection. So classic. And I think I would still want to, like even if there's a little bit of doubt, I would say, okay, hold, because it's a classic bag. But if there's in no doubt in my head, like I don't think I would buy this again, I just would not find it useful in my life, then I know, okay, I'll let it go, because it's already moved on from my lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, that's
so
a good point. Like, if I let go of my classic flap, a jumbo size, I wouldn't buy it again anyway, because the size doesn't work.
Correct. Okay. Let's see. Okay, this one I think we've answered from Luxy Chic. Thoughts on the Chanel Factory Number 5 collection? Did you get anything? No, it's not launched in Singapore, but I doubt.
I don't even know. I actually didn't even know about this whole Factory 5 thing. At first, when I saw it on Instagram, I thought it was fake. I had no idea it was coming out. I honestly was not aware of this collection. Obviously, my essay doesn't tell me anything. If anything, I have to find out myself first. So I keep up with the Chanel collections and all the knowledge. But this, I totally did not know. Didn't see it coming. Totally thought it was like made up. I'm like, what factory? There's no factory. But anyway, yeah, I'm not into it. I just I just wonder what's so cool about it that makes people all crazy about it. I don't understand myself, but it's okay. You do you, right?
Yeah, I don't think I'll get anything from the collection. Firstly, it's probably already sold out even before it hits the
Right.
stores in Singapore. It's, you gotta know the beauty advisor, and sometimes they have their VIP customers. So very likely all the popular things will be sold out. And the only thing that I would consider buying, like after looking at it so much, is the water bottle. I think that's most functional. Maybe that little paint can just for decorative purposes. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. So if it wasn't such a craze and I can actually go and take a look and like nice, but it's gonna be crazy when it launches here, so I'm not gonna bother.
Actually, that's a good point, because if I try to buy something, I would be blindly buying something because I don't even know how it looks like, and you probably can't even see it. You just have to want to have it and just pay for it, and then try to just get it in your hands first, then see. But yeah, I wouldn't even know what I'm getting into.
Exactly right, because they're using the FOMO, like intense FOMO, be like, oh my god, everybody's got it, I need it, but you don't really know you want it, right? And for me, I quite certain because I don't really use like luxury shower gel. Like I don't need Chanel. Just give me a big 2-liter Dove. What? 1 year later, it's finished. You should do the last 2 years, that kind
Are
of
you
thing.
sure it's gonna last even a year? It's shower gel. It's probably gonna last a month.
It's 2 liters, okay, 2 liters.
I don't
No, just
know.
kidding.
I feel like when I take a shower, I take a very long shower. First of all, I use a lot of product.
Chanel's definitely not for you, girl.
Not for me.
Okay, Luna, if you could only shop from one designer, which would you choose?
I'm curious about your answer. I think my answer is so obvious.
Chanel.
Yeah.
You know, I oh wow, this is hard, huh? This is tough. I would have said LV a long time ago. Like maybe last year I would have said LV, except I only like LV bags, right? And if I wanted to buy shoes, they don't really fit me. Clothes, like So I'm trying to look at all around, and I don't really like their jewelry. It's not my kind of thing. Then if I say Chanel, I think Chanel has a better better choice because they're kind of nice, they're beautiful, they're trendier. Not trendy in a bad way, like trendy classic. I've never explored their clothes because I don't never be able to afford it. It's so freaking expensive. Shoes don't really suit me, though I love looking at it. I have a watch, I have jewelry, bags as well. I might actually say Hermes. And I'm just thinking from a perspective of there is something in every department that I can actually dip my toes in. Clothes. I've got clothing. Bag. I like their shoes. Their shoes are surprisingly comfortable. Got the jewelry. So I feel like if I had to pick, not because it's Hermes, I'm just thinking from a perspective of the whole selection. Yeah, I'm gonna say Hermes.
Actually, I'm not super surprised by your answer because I really do like the aesthetic of Chanel more. And yes, it's true, their clothes, their shoes are very beautiful, very expensive. Actually, their shoes don't work for me either, but maybe like the dad sandals can. But the thing is, I was also thinking about in terms of, those things I can get elsewhere because, for clothes and everything, you can be very creative with just how you what you buy to make your wardrobe, right? To make your capsule or whatever. So I wasn't too concerned about all the other aspect, but I understand your point of view from, and I agree. Actually, Hermes, so many departments that I actually really do enjoy and love. In fact, a lot of my best purchases this year are from Hermes. So I have to agree. Yeah, they would be a very close second.
I think like Hermes and Chanel are so close. It's just that from a more like all-rounder so far, I have been happy with everything. Hermes I've been happy with everything. I've loved the clothes, the shoes, and all. Whereas Chanel, I've had some not so great purchases. The shoes, I've tried the espadrilles, not working out. I bought some other shoes like not working out. Sandals, no. I was like, what? So I've lost money in that. Some, Okay.
Agree. I guess for me, Hermes is just if I were just to do Hermes, which is fine, I can, then I would probably live with just like one bag for a long time, right? Because like you have to. If you could only get one bag every 2 years, you have to live with that one bag for every 2 years. You can add another one.
It's a totally different aesthetic. It's totally different. The clothing, the bags are freaking expensive. Like, hello, I can't be buying that. Obviously, Chanel is also very expensive. Actually,
it is, yeah.
They are neck to neck already, in the rates of who is more expensive now. but the aesthetic, right? So if you just say, I'm going to stick with Hermes, suddenly your aesthetic becomes very elegant and
Yeah.
different. It's like just, different, very different. So no big earrings, kind of like
Yeah.
funky. Yeah, it's just nice. It's a different kind of look. All right, Lin Tran. There's a two-parter, so I'm going to read it. FOMO is real. I panic purchased a light pink cocoa handle and a gray medium boy bag. Wow. I just realized that my boy bag has a long crack in the seam. I'm so disappointed now, debating if I should return it. My essay said there's no warranty from Chanel, and if I exchange it, I will have to pay the price difference. What would you do? Amy, what would you do?
Oh, pay the price difference for what though? That's what I'm wondering.
Oh,
Like for something else?
maybe?
No, what is the price? Oh, you mean to pay the increased price difference. I think that's what she means. Because the price increased now. So if you want to get another one, you have to pay the difference. I think that's what she means.
That's not right.
I know. That is not right. That if that's what you mean, that is a first, like that's very interesting that they would ask you to do that.
Yeah, I would fight back. I'm sorry. That's not right,
Yeah.
because it's faulty and you found it and you want to exchange it. And it's not that it's suddenly across the 1st of July, they have suddenly used different materials and now you have to pay the price. No, I think that's not right. I think there's something wrong with that logic.
I'm reading yours because you say that your boy bag has a long crack in the seam. I'm just trying to picture that, like if that is an actual defect. I'm trying, like it probably is, but I'm just trying to see what you mean by that, because the seam is where I guess the needle goes in, right? The needle goes in and there's the seam, right? So the crack, is it where that needle goes in, like that entry point? Is that the crack, like that started from that? That's what I'm trying to think, because and I'm gonna be honest here, because I have bags where I was worried about that seam, like that entry where the needle goes in can crack further, because it just looked bigger than normal, than the very tight seams. And I even brought it up. I said to my essay, I'm like, this looks like it's very tight. Like maybe the fabric was pulled very tight when they were seaming it, when they were making the bag. Is it gonna break apart, or is it gonna further, like with wear, is that gonna like make it worse? And I'm pretty sure it was the manager, and she told me that it's not an issue. And so far it has not become bigger. So I'm not sure if that's what you're having, that's the issue that you're having, but I wonder if maybe that's why they're making you pay the price difference, because to them, maybe, like, I don't know for sure, but maybe to them that's not an issue. And I hate to say that, I also don't like when when they don't agree with me, that could be an issue. But then, sometimes they know better. Sometimes I feel like I'm in the right, and but sometimes they are actually right too. So from my bag, it hasn't gotten worse, but yeah, it's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
But even so, what you're saying is that it may not be an issue, and therefore it's just us being like, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with my bag. Therefore, they want to make you pay the difference, because to
I
them
almost
it's
feel like that could be the reason, if the crack is what I'm thinking about. That crack in the seam that you're saying is what I'm thinking.
But I still think it's not right. Like, even because the bag, I mean, of course, if the bag is still within the return time or exchange time, it shouldn't cost more. Nothing happened on the 1st of July that would make the bag cost more. Nothing. It's just within, and you're asking for an exchange. If you're asking for an exchange of a different bag, then they have the right to ask you to pay the difference. But it is the same. Like, hello, same.
Or she could be exchanging for another color, at which it won't be the
That-
same because it's not the same code.
Correct. If you change bag to bag, then maybe exactly the gray boy Chanel, then you pay the price. You shouldn't be paid. I just don't feel like that's right to pay the price difference because you're asking for the same bag. Like, hello,
Right.
how would I know, right? I bought it the day before. But if you're asking for something different, then a bit hard lah, because then they will say it's a different bag, different price, pay the difference. Oh, we're not helping. We're making it worse. But yeah, if anybody can help her out, let's ask the audience. Let's ask the Luxies. What would you do?
Yeah. You know what? What I would do is if I really felt that it was a defect, no questions about it, then I would just take the credit back. Well, here there's no actual return, right? You just take it back. You get a credit note to spend it next time. Yeah, so I would do that. Just be aware that when you use a credit note, that it's final sale too. Well, here anyway. So I don't know how it works worldwide. I'm pretty sure it's the same in Singapore, right? If you get a credit note, you spend it, it's final sale. It doesn't matter what you buy, it's final sale. So it's better to double check, triple check your items. It's hard. It's so hard. It's so hard. But if I really feel like it was a defect, I would just not accept it. I would just take it back.
I think it's the same question just now, the FOMO or bag regret, which is worse. So definitely bag regret is worse. So we're coming from that space of better to just return it. If you're not happy, not 100% happy, you're already feeling disappointed, don't feel you're missing out. Just get the money back and be happy with another purchase. There will always be another bag. Like, don't feel like, oh, I regret this now because last time I should return it. Then it's like a whole different ball game and it's your head. Okay, Paige, do you girls think that Instagram and then research a FOMO item pushes you over the edge to buy? Yes.
Yeah. Do you think Instagram research? Yeah, sometimes, not all the time, but Instagram doesn't help.
It does not help.
Well, actually, no, it helps because it gives me ideas how to style it and everything. Pictures always help, which is why when we do our reviews, we always try to also wear the bag to show you how it is, see what content it is, and all that. The visuals really do help. But does it help FOMO? Sometimes it makes FOMO more intense.
Yeah, it doesn't help
because you don't have it, right?
Yeah. I think for me, I just, when I start to do research and Instagram makes me like just really like, oh my gosh, it can look this way. That looks really good. It gives me the ideas. Yeah, like you. But it definitely pushes me over the edge to even research about it more because you see it so often and gives you ideas. Okay, Nini. This is a good question. Chanel Classic, another price increase. If another 10% will be a big amount, do you think people will always be able to accept?
Yeah. Because if you want it bad enough, you'll just pay for it. It's only if you don't want it bad enough, then you can pass, right? For the longest time, I've been passing all these years on buying the classic flap because I guess I didn't really want it that bad enough. And I was also at the same time happy with all the seasonal purchases that I made. Because those were great bags. Like those are actual functional, great, really good bags. So not having that classic flap, from a collections point of view, it feels like it's missing. So for me to be able to pull the trigger this time, everything has to be right. Color, size, all that stuff, right? even if it costed more, because I waited all these years, the price increased so many times now, I still got it. And I'm fine with it. Like, I know it's expensive, but I'm fine with it because it's not like I do that a lot. Like, you're not gonna see me buy 5 more classic flops in a row. Like, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. I think we spoke about something like a price threshold a couple of months, no, a couple of lives ago. We said that it will hit a price ceiling. Everyone will have a different price ceiling, right? Everyone. And to me, what Chanel is doing is they're just going up and up. But it will hit a point where our own personal logical brain will say, I can't. I mean, yeah, I just can't. And then that's it, right? Because if you wanted it already, you have bought it already, right? But if you're just waiting for the price to go up to test your own threshold, if you didn't buy it last year, most likely you would not buy it. Unless you're testing yourself until you panic. You're the last minute panic buyer before you know your own threshold. 10% more. What is it now? 11,000. So it's gonna be what calculator?
11. Well, it
12,000.
depends which size.
So
I think the
let's talk about
small size is 10,000 and medium is like 11 or 12, and then the other one's like 13.
so 12,000, 12,000 for a classic flap. If for me, I think I'm quite relevant on this. Like, would I do it? Kat, would you do it? You know, I can honestly say that if I had the funds, saved up, ready for it, like I am saying, I don't care if I start saving now and next year, if I just save, you can save, okay? You save. And I said, so happened if that price increase hits first, and before I can save enough, I'll just save a little bit more because it's another 1,000, right? Because I am preparing myself for it. Maybe in the past few years, I'm not ready for it. So why am I going to put myself in debt to buy something that I am not ready for? No. So I think it will hit. I would still get it at 12 when I'm ready. But I'm just going to give it like 20,000. I think no. I'm quite confident to say no for this. Yeah. I don't think I would.
But I don't know. I still feel like it can change though, Kat, because we've spoken about that before. You're right. Remember we gave the example of the hotel? Like, it's not all the time when you travel that you're gonna get nice accommodation, like 5-star accommodation. True. But if you've been you've been good at savings, but also you've paid off a lot of things, right? You paid off your house, for example, you paid off your car, you paid off a bunch of things. Now you suddenly have more disposable income, then you're gonna treat yourself. Your next vacation, you're going to treat yourself to not only the vacation, but also nicer accommodation, which, for me, for a long time, it wasn't a big deal. Like, I'll just sleep anywhere that doesn't have bugs or whatever. But I feel like it kind of applies to handbags too. Like, for many years, and that is why I keep saying that I'm very sensible with what I buy and how often I buy, even though it seems like a lot, but it has taken me a long time to build this collection, right? And it seems like it's more accelerated in the past few years only because I'm able to now. Yeah. Right? And ask me if I could have bought that classic flap, the one that I just bought like 5 years ago, I would have felt so guilty. It wouldn't have been the right time. Does that make sense? I feel like you would still buy. You will buy it once. If you really want it, like the bag. If you really want the bag, that's what I mean.
20K. 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 Let's talk about 20K. Would you buy it at 20K? Everybody, would you buy it?
Maybe. I mean, that's assuming that you don't have anything else you prefer, though. Yeah. Like, let's say you're not after a Kelly, you're not after any Hermes bag, you're not after anything, but you're still missing that classic flap. I think you would go for it.
Yeah, you know, if that is the case, like no more Kelly, like no Kellys, not even no more, no Kellys. Get rid of my Bottega, and then I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna have a very curated collection of 3 bags. I think I do it. I think I do it. Like I just like, all right lah, collect everything, sell everything, and then just say, you cost me 20,000. You better treat me good, okay? But yeah, then I think I will be ready. Yeah, because I think maybe the collection is extensive right now. I just would not feel comfortable with a 20K bag sitting on my cupboard in my cupboard.
But 20K is probably gonna happen. Not quite yet. Like not quite this soon yet, though.
Let's count it, huh? 8 years? Actually, not even 8 years. Like
maybe eight years,
compounding,
maybe
right?
even 5 years. Who knows? But like, hopefully.
Next year 2021, I'm renaming my channel to be Cat Curations. And then you'll know what I'm doing. Cat Curations. I'm curating my entire collection. No more this whole like, you know, buying anything. I'm going to curate everything. I'm going to be a minimalist. I'm going to sell everything. And then you'll see me a bang, $20,000 bag.
You're not serious, are you?
Everybody's like, nah, never going to happen. No way. Cat, never going to happen. She lied.
Next year is in 5 months.
Oh my god. No, maybe not. All right, CB. Someone is trying to sell me a 2019 Kelly 25 Cray Togo leather in excellent condition. She's asking for a 10K. She's asking for 10,000 USD. Do you think the price is too good to be true? Your thoughts. Okay, I'm gonna let you answer this. There's somebody knocking at my door. I'll be right back.
Okay. No worries, you can go. It is a really good price. So I'm wondering, who is this someone though? Is it someone that you know? Or is it maybe someone that you know on IG? Like, I wonder if you could elaborate. It does sound like a very good price because she could go for much more than this. She could probably go for at least 1.5 times this price, right? Yeah, if you could elaborate for us, because I almost feel like if she is just trying, unless she's an inexperienced seller, which I doubt she would be, like why would she have that kind of bag, right, in her possession? And if she's just trying to get rid of it, that almost seems, yeah, I don't think that would be the case. So why would she be only selling for 10,000 US? That's like lower than retail, or it's like retail. Unless she's just really not stingy and she's just selling at cost, honestly. I don't think anyone in their right mind would do that. So I don't know.
When it's too good to be true, it is too good to be true. I'm sorry. If somebody can make a profit, they will make a profit. I would not sell my Birkin B25 gold hardware at retail. No way. Go away. Okay. I would want to make a little bit. Okay. I may not be like doing a reseller, like, oh my God, I'm going to make double of it. That's just not right. But I would definitely want to get a little bit of it, like, because I have put my money aside. So I'll just imagine it like a little FD. Just imagine, right? If I'm going to sell it, I'm not. But for her to sell at that price, it kind of feels a little suspicious.
No, but that's why I'm asking who it is. Is it someone that she knows? Or is it someone that she knows from someone else? Like,
okay, yeah, possible.
But it's very unlikely, lah. It's very unlikely.
Yeah, if it's your friend, you're like, girl, I'll just give me nominal, all right, just for you because I love you. Maybe.
Yeah.
But if it's a person selling, I doubt. If you can get some photos to authenticate it, that would be also helpful.
Yeah, try to authenticate with those photos.
For me, okay, here's from Clara. Oh, Clara's here. Hey, by the way, we are already an hour in. I'm going to plug our luxury live show. Have you given us a thumbs up? Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, because sometimes we're all watching and you don't forget to press the little thumbs up. Help us with this live stream as well, yeah? So make sure you subscribe to both of us. Plug over. Clara, okay, for me, sometimes the FOMO hits when it's sudden and you didn't expect it at all, and there's no time to research. For me, it was the Chanel Mademoiselle Coco J12. How do you process? Oh, I know. She got the the Mickey Mouse one. That is a good FOMO though. That was a good hit. That's a good watch.
That is a great question. I feel like for me, that would happen for, like I said earlier, Chanel is a whole other ball game because Chanel, it's like, if you don't buy it, it's gone. Someone else would have bought it. So you almost have to not think too much about it and just buy it. Because if you think about it, that means that you don't want it enough because someone wants it more than you, right? If you compare it that way. So a lot of times I buy it first and then I think later. It's bad. But usually Chanel works out for me anyway, because like I said, it is my aesthetic. And I do feel like if I bought it, chances are I already like it enough that I don't have to think about it too much. But yeah, it's not bad. It's not good. Sorry, it's not good. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Oh dear. And there were so many comments, and then I moved down and it skipped.
Oh, it's okay. I think for a little while, it's all because I'm still there. Oh, Clara still have another question. Definitely have a trusty friend to make sure you haven't gone crazy. Helps. Thankful to the girls in the community, but true, like Amy said, sometimes they encourage you. So I can read some of the stuff. So that's what Clara said as a follow-up. And then that's it.
All right, great.
And then I lost it too.
Okay. So yeah, the thing is about this platform, it jumps.
Yeah.
So but all chatting. We'll see a lot of chatting. Okay, from Joyce. I keep hearing on Chanel worldwide harmonization. Do you find that Chanel is cheaper in Europe after VAT refund? Do I need to plan a trip to France after the pandemic? I was just talking about this, right, Amy? I said that this is the first time that Singapore, Malaysia, US, and I think even Europe, maybe not Australia. I think Australia's price increase went up earlier, but just for like some of the countries that I'm aware of, everyone went up the same day. So it's really surprising because usually they'll go US first, it'll hit different countries and everybody trying to find a way to get the cheaper one first. But this round, Malaysia, pump, Singapore, pump, everybody just went out like, on the same day. So it could be something they're trying to control globally.
But I did find that in general, at least in the past, even though the prices are very similar, because that did cross my mind too when I went to Europe that one time a few years ago. It still saves a little bit, not a ton. It's true, because after you remove the VAT, you pretty much, I mean, it depends, right? I think it depends on your country. So like for someone in the US, when they have, I think in the US, you have a higher threshold to bring back home that is duty free, then you end up saving more because your taxable amount is less. Whereas when you bring back anything in Canada, your only duty free amount is 800. 800 is like an SLG.
Yeah.
Everything else you have to pay tax on top of it, right? So for us, it doesn't save much. Like for us, it's very negligible. And so you're really buying because of the experience and just because they have more stock. So I wouldn't necessarily, for my next trip anyway, I wouldn't necessarily plan my trip just so that I can purchase something for savings. For me, it's buying what is not available here.
Interesting. And for us in Singapore and Malaysia, it's definitely cheaper to buy in Europe. Firstly, the prices in Europe, currently, I don't know if this harmonization is for real, but they are cheaper. So a little bit, I wouldn't say it's like significantly cheaper, but with the VAT, it's a lot. 12%, it's what, 20% VAT, and then plus, service. So you deduct all the costs, it's about 12% cheaper. And tax in Singapore is not that much, so you still have a bit of savings. For me, it's definitely plan a trip after the pandemic to go and get some stuff.
Yeah, because even if you save just like 7%, that's still a huge chunk on a $10,000 bag.
Yeah, pay a little
And
bit of
you
my
get,
hotel.
you get the variety, right? You can actually try it on. You don't have to like hustle to get there. Like they might have just like the stock in front of you. It's for me, it's more about stock availability and just the saving is very, very minimal. You're talking about maybe a couple $100 saving. It's not really that significant because we have to pay tax when we come back in, right? So you're not really saving much.
Yeah. I think but I also think of the fact that everyone is going to be holidaying. So, for the past 2 years, a year and a half coming already. By the time we all go next year, 2 years, everybody will be aching to travel, right? You become, whoever come to Asia go to Europe, blah, blah, blah. So stock is going to be really, really tight as well, So
yeah,
trip might not be worthwhile in the end, but you get the experience, right? You get the experience of going there and don't just go there for a handbag. Though I've done it, but just don't. Go there for the holiday, right? After a long pandemic, like, oh my God, get out. Okay, Miss MG, which handbag from your collection receives more compliments when you wear it? Oh, I know.
I have no idea, actually. I feel like I don't get compliments because of my handbag. I get compliments because of my outfit. Just yesterday, I wasn't even dressed up. I was like in my not worst, but it's kind of like my errand day. I wasn't even planning to go out because I was just meeting up with someone to grab something. But then we did end up going to get my car washed, and then we ended up to the outlet, and I bought a few things for my nephew, but yeah, and then I got complimented there in the outlet. So and it's like it was in the bag for sure. But that's the thing. Like I feel like I don't know. My bags, I don't really get compliments on them. I think the trendy CC, my essay actually did compliment it. And the Chanel 19, because when I got the Chanel 19, it was still very early on and not a lot of people have it. So my essay actually also complimented. Not my essay, like other essays have complimented on it.
I have 2 bags that gets a lot of compliments. 3, one not luxury. So 2 of them. One is my Lindy size 26 in Rouge Tomato, like bright color. But I got compliments from 2 things. One is the color and the shape. Everybody, when I wear it, I was like, that's a nice bag. That's a nice bag. I'm like, really? And it's such a simple bag, right? But I think the unique dumpling shape get a lot of compliments, and because it's bright as well, which I'm starting to FOMO missing it. It's nice, right? It stands out. So I got a lot of compliments with that. I do get a lot of compliments with my Velicet BB.
That one is a nice.
Yeah, it's cute. It's different. So people are like, hey, what's that? May not be like, oh my God, what an amazing bag, like my Lindy. They like it so pretty. This is more like, hey, that's interesting. It's an interesting looking bag. So I get that. Then my 3rd bag that is non-luxury is actually the clutch that I have from my friend. When I wear that, and I don't wear it often, but because it's also something different, it's not a branded clutch, but it's bright color with the gold and the orange. I do get like, oh, nice little clutch. Oh, that's pretty, where you get it from. So I do get compliments with that. I kind of remember because I actually don't like people pointing out my bag. So when when they point out my bag, I get a bit like defensive. I don't know why. Okay, like you want to wear your bag and get like show off, right? But I'm not. I'm like, oh, you look at my bag. Something wrong. So when I get commented on a particular bag more often than I would like, I kind of remember it. So these are the 3 little things. thank you. You know,
Yeah,
learn to say
I
thank
think
you.
for me it depends who compliments it, because if it's a complete stranger, I'm totally fine. But if it's someone that I know and I have the perception, it might not be the case, but I have the perception of them that can be a bit judgy, judgy
Mm,
about, you spending so much money, then I might feel a bit weird if that person compliments. But,
good
that's
point.
just
Good.
my perception. So I'll just say a thank you and then move on.
Yeah, good point. Good point. I think that makes absolute sense. That you kind of be
Mm,
defensive, like, oh, are you
yeah.
noticing? Because
Yeah.
you're familiar with that person. Yeah, agree. Holly, what handbags do you buy out of FOMO that you're so happy you did and regret buying? So yeah, we shared that next week on Amy's channel. Our luxury live show is going to share the FOMO bags, the
Yeah.
FOMO items that we bought, and so you got to go next week. So we're going to talk
Yeah, you
about
gotta
that.
wait.
Oh, Christine Wong, Kat, would you consider going vintage for classic flaps?
I don't see it.
Yeah, I know. I shared before, if it's the, unless it's not the classic vintage look, because the really vintage look, it's not for me. It's very flat, it's very boxy. It's not the kind of look that I like. I like my classic flap to look puffy and all. So the real vintage one, I don't think so. But pre-love, possible. Okay, possible. I'm not gonna say no, because maybe an amazing color comes out and it only is pre-loved. I have the funds for it. I'm like, okay, I think I'm ready for it, and I'm okay. You know, it's authentic. I've authenticated it like 10 times. Then maybe, because you know what I realized in the past few months, and I've watched a few videos as well. People have been talking about how fakes are freaking good. This like now they're really, really good. So that just activates my fear even more. So I would go if the price is right, if I'm absolutely sure. Not vintage, but pre-love market. Would
Or
you?
if you
Would
bought
you go
from
for
your
one?
friend that you know for sure. It's a
Yeah, from
real
a friend.
one.
True, true. I couldn't ask Amy this anymore because she's already got her dream classic. Okay, Gemma, everything is FOMO because I don't have a bag yet. What cures it is trying on wishlist bags in store. Fendi Peekaboo, Club scrapes my hand when I reach it off my wish list for good. Yeah, that's a good way to
Mm-hmm.
get rid of. Actually, there was one I forgot to mention. In my FOMO video, one of you gave a really really good tip. And even though I don't have all my bags with me, I can seriously visualize it. The tip is was like, Cat, don't FOMO anymore. Because I was like, oh, I'm FOMOing for this classic flap, the price increase. And I felt it, okay, it was intense. Um, One of the tips I read all of it, okay? I read, and I may not be able to reply all, but I do love, and when I read, I love it. So it was saying, Cat, don't FOMO. Imagine, can you go? No, she said, go to your cupboard, dig out all your bags, and dump it on the bed, and just look at all your bags, and it will humble you. And I was like, okay, I don't have all my bags with me, but I visualized like every single bag that I had, and I dumped it on my bed. I was like, dang, that's a lot of bags. Okay, enough. I just took it brought me down, right? Because you're up here at FOMO level. You need multiple shakes for you to really get out of it, right? So that was one, and then the shake of like I don't have the money, shake again, shake again. And by the end of it, like, okay, that's it. I just forget it. So that was
That
a
is
good,
so true. It's like another type of visual, right? Instead of
yeah.
looking at IG, look at your bed.
Look at your entire collection. Like that is a lot. That's a lot. And when I do my handbag collection videos, when I dig out all my bags and I put it all aside, actually I have a moment of like, oh, girl, you got a lot of bags. It's fun. It's okay. We love bags.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think for me, I try to do that from a point of view of, oh, what I haven't used enough or I haven't used recently. Then I'm like, oh, how come I'm not giving that bag a little bit more love, right? Then I grab it and I use it, and then I try to get out of the FOMO's phase.
Nadine, I don't get FOMO with price increases or releases, but I get anxiety waiting for a Birkin, which makes me throw money and constantly look at new items to get there.
I think that
Yes.
is a form of FOMO, but you just don't FOMO for any other things except for your Birkin.
You're like, where is it? It's yeah, it's a form of like, yeah, anxiety. Yeah, well, yeah, I can say use the word anxiety, like
Stress.
stressing and wondering and waiting anxiously for the bag, which is another kind of form of FOMO. Maybe there's a word for it. I don't know what's the word for it.
It's almost like it's almost like
Anticipation.
competing with, you're like competing, but you're not you don't even know what you're competing against. It's like you're competing to make sure that you're, you know, that you look good on their profile. In a sense, that's the mentality, right? A little bit where you're just throwing money buying whatever so that hopefully it looks good enough on your profile that you'll get that offer, right? So it's almost like a competition. I don't know, it's not really with yourself, but it's like you are actually competing with a bunch of people in effect, but you just, I mean, you just don't know how far along the other people are, right? So yeah, it is a form of FOMO. It's like,
And it's fine, it's just what you just do it. And
yeah.
thank you, Chris, for the super chat.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I just clicked on it to look at the comment. It says, FOMO will continue to happen every day. It is important to spend what we can afford than tomorrow's money. Yes, well said. I've been watching some videos about, FOMO to a certain extent. We didn't use the word FOMO, but about this kind of spending. And there's always a like negative, almost like not like you shouldn't FOMO. You shouldn't. You're no good if you're FOMO. There are better things in life, better things to do. Don't FOMO. But in reality, we all, I believe all of us here, Luxies, we are responsible, right? It's important to spend your money wisely and everything in moderation, right? Like, saying about junk food, you don't go to stuff your face. Eat junk food the whole day long. You overdo it, you feel sick, you feel uncomfortable, you feel like killing yourself, you're depressed. And then one day you're a recovering junkaholic and you tell everybody, don't eat junk food. When everyone else is there at the dining table having one or two cookies, like, obviously you overdid it. Okay.
Yeah.
You overdid it, you junkaholic. And now don't come and preach at me for eating my junk food, because I don't do it like that. Okay. I have it. It's a luxury that I have once in a while. So it's continue to happen. Occasionally I see a nice Oreo packet that I want to buy. I'll do it.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Moderation is key. But also if you're always healthy, you've been really, really healthy, sure, you can have that buffet, stuff your face, but that's just gonna happen once in a while, right? You're not doing that all the time. The next day you're back to your normal self where you're being healthy again, right? And even if you treat yourself once in a while, like you can have that 2 piece of chocolate I have my 2 or maybe more than 2, but I have my few pieces of chocolate every day, but that's fine.
Yeah. Be responsible. Key, okay? Be responsible. Don't go into debt. Buy what you can afford. Don't spend tomorrow's money. Occasionally we fall off the bandwagon, like, but make sure you have your cushion, right? I mean, you're not going in debt. You might be digging into your cushion. You're pulling some like cotton out. You're like, oh no. But make sure you don't go zero. Like that's just wrong. And if you are, you need to stop. You need to stop, okay? Because you're not worth getting into that for anything, not even a bag, anything. Excessively buying holidays. I have some like real long time ago, I have some friends, they just buy lots of holidays and they go into a little debt for it. So yeah, be responsible.
No, actually, it's very serious. It's very, very serious. First of all, never get in debt. That's number one. But having that cushion is so important. And a lot of times when Kat and I FOMO, or at least if I speak for myself, I'm actually FOMOing whether I should get into my like dip into my cushioning saving.
Yeah.
I'm not actually going in debt, you know what I mean? So it's like wondering if you should go into your cushioning of savings. That's not getting into debt. That's just dipping slightly temporarily into your savings, right? So
And that's
it's
irresponsible,
a
right?
major
Irresponsible.
difference. Major difference.
Okay, FOMO is bad. Yeah, FOMO is bad. I just bought a Max Mara coat today on sale, but 2 size larger.
Oh,
When I got home, I saw a similar size, even cheaper in France website. I'm going to France in 3 months.
oh.
Oh my gosh, I know. Yeah, so those are that happens. That happens. You know.
Yeah.
That happens. Ouch.
Can
Okay.
you layer maybe? Like on a really cold day?
Yeah. Well, 2 sizes larger for a coat. It just look extra baggy. You know, baggy is in. We're trying to help you. we're trying to like console you. Luna Essence was selling my dream bag with the old price. I really felt the price increase FOMO and ended up buying it.
It's true, huh? When the old price is still around, and you're like, oh, just get it, just get it.
Get it. It's a deal.
Yeah, that happens. That definitely
That happens.
too.
Admit it. It happens. But you know, if you're ready for it, die.
Yeah.
Don't even think about it. Just go do it. Okay, Junior. A problem of not getting what you want, even with some financial deterrence, is purchasing smaller compensatory items that will, in the end, add up to the amount. What do you think?
So true.
So true.
Yeah.
Junior, so true. You had it. Did you have this? Did you get this?
Yeah, it happens. I think a lot of times for me, if usually those are like the regrets and the sales, like the items that I end up. Okay, not everything that I end up selling is a regret, but some of them are, and it could be because of that reason. You know how sometimes when you miss out on, say, a major item, or you're not able to get on your hands, then you end up buying something else. Say like, is there a concrete example I can give you? I don't know if I have a concrete example, but like sometimes, say I couldn't say buy the whatever I wanted from Chanel, then I see something from LV and it's cute and it's new, then I end up buying it, thinking that, oh, at least I got something out of it, right? It's kind of like my consolation. But I'm not so passionate about that item as much as my original, what I wanted to get. So like those things could end up being that regret, you know, or being that chopping block item. So, you know, I feel like it does happen. And especially when it's a very similar item. So like, for example, if you want the classic flat medium, but you don't get it, you just get a mini, and the mini really doesn't work for you. So those type of scenarios could be true as well. Yeah. I think for me, it boils down to if I normally just like everything from Chanel that I get. But if I kind of deviate, if I deviate too much, I end up, you know, I might like it for a honeymoon phase, but I end up maybe just kind of falling out of love over time, and they will just no longer be in my collection over time. That makes sense.
Yep.
I cannot give you a real example right now. I cannot think of one. But I know what you mean. It's true.
It's true. It happened. Which I think I can't think of any example for myself that I bought in replacement of something else. I'm sure I've done it, but now I just can't think of it right on the spot. But it happens because, you know, you're there, you didn't get it, and what happens is the essay will say, why don't you look at this SLG, you know, this earring or this thing, and because you're feeling like, oh, okay, not really thinking of buying it. I'm pretty sure I bought a few, and after you add it up, it does make into like, oh man, I should have just saved and waited. So I don't think it's is it right? No, it's not right or wrong. It's sort of like unfortunate because you're kind of feeling disappointed you didn't get the one that you want. But it's something to actually avoid, because for me, the reason I can't remember all these things is probably I sold it already, right? They are not
Yeah.
items that was in my radar in the first place, and I just bought it because I wanted something else and I didn't get it.
And
Usually
I think the reason why we're not really remembering any examples is because we don't do it as much anymore. Which is also why we let's say when we did the comparison between the Chanel 19 and the puffer bag from Saint Laurent, we keep telling you guys, buy exactly the one that you want. If the Chanel 19 is the one you want, don't settle for the puffer. If the puffer is what you want, don't settle for the Chanel. Usually that doesn't really work that way, but we know from experience in a way. So yeah, I don't even remember an example, honestly, because I try not to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leah. Really curious, and Kepo is like curious to know, but do the essays at Hermes get commission on silks and cashmere scarves? If so, do you know the percentage and how it compares to that of shoes, ready to wear, and home goods? Thank you. I have no idea, man. It's basically asking, hey, how much do you earn? Tell me your salary, Wow.
No, it never comes out. And how do you even ask that? You can't.
Yeah. I have no idea. No clue, and yeah, no clue.
I think someone told me on a comment, was it the last video that we did, the last live? It could be. But they told me about LV, the breakdown. And it was very, very small. Because it's something about, it used to be like a certain percentage, which is like an actual whole number, but now it's down to decimals, like 0.01 or something like that, which is very, very small, because like literally every bag that you sell, you get maybe $20 out of it, type of thing. So that's a really interesting info. I don't know if that really would make a difference in terms of like me being a consumer, but and I don't know. I'm not curious enough to ask. I'm not that nosy.
Well, if they sell, I'm just counting. Like if they sell a $5,000 bag, if they get 1%, that's like $50. I think
But
it's
they
a
don't
little bit
even get
more.
1%. At LV.
Yeah,
They don't
that's
even
5%.
get 1%.
Yeah. So I don't know how much would they get. They should be quite okay, but they get a lot of different kind of commissions as well.
Yeah, they get other perks.
Cross selling here, there, and then this one buy sell this one. But the percentage, no idea. No idea. Okay, Shanna, for your first Chanel, which is the best color for a classic small? I know black is practical, no brainer, easy to match. But now that I see yours, Amy, I'm so tempted.
It should be the color that you love the most. It has to be. I feel like for me, I don't want to get a black because everyone has a black, but not only that, I also have a lot of black bags that I can wear. So I wanted my classic flap, since it's my only one, at least for the time being, to be a very special color. Like I want it to be so worthwhile of a purchase, because I normally wouldn't buy it otherwise. I'm hoping that there would be a point in time, many, many years in the future, where I have literally no more other financial worries, like that I can really dip into that cushion, for example, that I can just splurge on a black one. Why not? Or any color for that matter. But if I'm just being very choosy, I can only get the one, might as well be a color that I absolutely love, right? So I feel like you would do the same. Cat, I mean.
Me? Yeah. I mean, my most unpractical color is the beige Claire. And I know myself is I like that light color. I do. I think it's very elegant, and I love gray. And I don't mind some other color. Yeah, I don't think I'll get black. I think for in my perspective, my black bag is kind of done with my Birkin. I think that was just like, okay, the ultimate black bag. I'm done. I don't really think I would get any other expensive black bag, like really, really, really expensive black bag. Like Chanel would be extremely. It's too similar. I would, yeah, I think I would explore a color. I don't know what color though. Something that when I look at it, I know. I'm like, oh, that's the one. That's the one I
Yeah,
want.
exactly. You look at it, you know. If you
You
don't know
know.
yet, then it's not the one.
And at that prices, you better know. Jamel, FOMO made me buy 5 Chanel handbags in the last 12 months. I don't regret it. Yes, good. Because this is my forever collection. Well said. But I'm still missing the mini. Should I buy the mini now before the next price increase?
Nah. Buy it if it's the right color, the right size, the right material. If it's not, there's another price increase, so be it. Because, at least on the mini, the price increase is not that steep. I mean, it's steep, but it's not that steep in this, like in the grand scheme of things, right? I feel like, don't just settle for any minis.
Yep.
Mhm.
Don't. They come up with minis all the time.
Yeah.
Just, better same again, right? Better to FOMO it than to regret it, because it's your forever collection. I think that's also very key. Something that you want in your forever collection. So you just wait. Just wait until the right one comes. Okay. Kimberly. It's so funny how years ago, Hermes things were way too expensive for me in my head. But once you really start buying, it doesn't seem that bad and you can justify anything. Plus FOMO. Well, I mean, you're talking about years ago, right? And maybe in your financial position now,
Yeah.
now that you've got your cushion or you've done your things, you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna enjoy my life. Tons. And I can do anything with money, as long as you're responsible.
Yeah, the financial, your, over the years, having that financial cushion makes such a big difference.
Oh, they unproof. Okay. Thought I did. Nicola Powell. I brought my Chanel white iridescent medium classic flap. FOMO really got me, I think. Everyone on social media said it was so hard to get. I eventually bought it. I am a little regretting it now. Oh, you bought it. Oh, why? Okay, so there has to be a reason why you're feeling like you regret it.
Maybe because it's a white, white bag scares people.
Yeah, it scares me, but it's a beautiful bag. Like
It
that.
is. But if it was FOMO and social media pressure, can you still enjoy it? Because sometimes, even with similar with FOMO, you can forget about it. But if you already have it, over time, sometimes the more you look at it, the more you actually love it. And can you just enjoy it? And
Well, if you decide that you just can't, then this will be an easy sell, right?
Yeah.
Really easy, because it's such a sought after color and it's a medium classic flap. So I think that in that sense, it's not. Of course, it's still difficult to sell. Like, we're not saying go and buy it and then sell it later. But if you're feeling that that you really want to let it go and it's not suitable for you, have to give it a bit of time and then let it go. Easy.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you want to try it out a little bit, see if you can dip your toes. I'm trying to think of any bag that I can't think of anyone that now I'm sort of like dipping my toes. Like, oh my God, I'm okay with it now. Maybe like lambskin. I think lambskin took me a while to appreciate soft, smooth leather. But once I got it, I'm like, hey, that's not so bad. I'm okay now. But before that, I was just fear and, okay, yes. My classic trendy CC. My trendy CC was a bag that I bought, not from FOMO, but I just bought it thinking that I'm okay. But social media made me opposite from you, right? Social media actually got me to be afraid of lambskin. Like, it's so bad.
Mm.
You know, you move the bag a little bit, you'll be dented. And I ended up selling it. And I actually, opposite of you, I actually regret selling it because I let that fear make me let it go. But now, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I think you can sit on it a while because medium classic flap, if you ever decide to sell it, especially in that color, I'm pretty sure someone will want it. So
Yeah.
wait, marinate a little bit, see if
Mm.
if you can wear it, if you can love it. If you really can't, you really regret it, then yeah, then you can work towards selling it.
Agreed. Shanna, FOMO made me buy a Cartier Diamante Leger in
Léger.
yellow gold leisure. Okay, in yellow gold that day. But I am so happy with it, ladies. Cartier is okay. We'll be having a price increase this 15 July. Yes.
Well, first of all, congrats. And
Oh yes,
exactly,
congrats.
a lot of times FOMO actually works out in your favor too.
Yeah. Yes, there's a price increase. I actually went to Cartier. I talked about it in my video. I said I actually popped by, but the price wasn't so bad. Like the price increase wasn't it's substantial, but it's not something that I would dig my cushion for this price increase. It just doesn't. It's not right in my head. So if you already gonna buy it, like you were gonna buy it in August, you've saved up for it, your funds are ready for it, then obviously go and get it now. Okay, I have to say that. But if you're like planning for a year ahead, please think about it first. Okay.
I think there's a bunch of chatters.
Yeah. Lots and lots of chatter, which we love. Okay. So, but now it's just,
Yeah.
I'm trying to look for a question. Oh, here we go. Okay. From Shanna, how many Chanel bags in terms of functionality does one really need? I mean, in terms of, say, we use it for each function.
Oh. Well, I just filmed the video, so you guys will see mine on Monday, where it's not really functionality based, but it's like I selected a number of bags from my current collection that would be my ultimate collection if I had to redo it. And I also, in a way, don't see those going anywhere. Like I probably would, at least for the foreseeable future, would never get rid of. So how many? It's so different for everyone, I feel. Because I'll just give you an example, right? I said, and before, and I will say it again in the future video, that the Chanel Antine is kind of like my everyday Chanel. But I also consider the Gabrielle as an everyday Chanel style too. But I also cannot live with either one of them. So like, does that count as one functionality because it's my everyday style? Except that one is smaller, one is bigger. So for me, I still need those two. So yeah.
I would say at least 3, like just based on functionality, right? And every day, a bigger one for your larger, like a tote, things like that. Like, and maybe one that is small just for going out. So if you want to be like super strict, not talking about wear and tear, just say strictly 3 bags, 3 types of functions. I feel like maybe these are the 3. Dainty, small, that is like an occasion bag. Doesn't really fit. It's mainly for occasions, going out for a tea, something small. And one is every day, is a little bit larger. We put little things, and then you have one which is the big one for traveling, putting a laptop, going to work, being a bit more like work appropriate. think maybe 3 functionalities. So 3 Chanel bags.
For the record, it's not gonna be 3. It's gonna be way more than 3.
Times.
Anyway.
Times.
3 times N.
All right. Viv, Amy, which Chanel bag do you use the most? Oh, this is the question, and why?
It's hard. I feel like I have phases. Sometimes I use one more than another for a while, and then I come back to another one. But I have to say that probably the one that I've used the most throughout the entire lifetime is the Square Mini. Because the Square Mini, I use it when I'm in town. I also use it when I travel. And I also use it a lot as my evening bag. So that would be my most used overall. Yeah.
That's a good answer. Okay, we're 5 minutes. Okay, so actually we started, so we still have 10 minutes because did we start late? Yeah, we started late, right? Can't recall now. All right, we'll just keep going. Like, I'm only at 12 o'clock right now. Oh my gosh. Okay, Paige, would you ever get a Louis Vuitton trunk? I doubt. I love it. I think it's amazing. It's a beautiful piece, but I'm not much of a decorator. I'm assuming it's the big trunk, right? Maybe I'll get the mini one just for my jewelry. Maybe I think I can do that. But if you're talking about like the big trunk where you put things inside, I don't think I would. Even if I had the money, I just not a yeah. Would you get a trunk?
No, I have no place to put it.
Yeah, takes up space. All right, Viv, will you buy the same bag? Would you buy the same bag, same size, but in different color? Chanel 19 in black and then in caramel.
It's very tempting. I think the Amy from 2018 would have done it because she has. But now, no. It's very tempting though, because every time I look at that caramel or even that gray 19, I'm like, oh, drooling, salivating inside. I want it, but it's one of those things you remind yourself of your own advice. Never buy another duplicate because you're gonna, even if you have a caramel 19 and the black 19, I'll probably wear the black one more still.
Yeah. I do want another color in my Bottega, but that's still, still reasonably priced. I
think that's okay. Yeah. We're talking about the Chanel 19, which is what, $8,000, right? That's a lot of money.
That's a lot. There's 16 sitting there. This is funny, Nadine. I took a peep and I had to laugh. I want to redo my breast implants, but I also want another Birkin. My husband said, pick only one. Maybe I'll wait till I change my breast. Priorities, girl. Priorities.
Yeah, it's true. Your husband's right. You're right. I don't know. I mean, unless you can afford both now and you really have that money, like, I mean, really, really have that money, right? And you're not just going to spend it all and have zero in your account.
How much does it cost?
One thing at a time. Which one do you want?
Like, so these cost the Birkin. You're funny. I didn't know that. I have no idea.
But yeah.
Can't you pay with insurance?
Sorry, what?
Breast implants, can't it be insurance? No?
Oh, surgery, I don't think so. Because it's an elective surgery, right? You have to pay out of pocket for sure. Unless this is something that's like due to an accident, which is
unlikely,
right? I'm assuming this is like something that you want to do. That it doesn't require, like, you don't need it because of health reasons. I'm assuming.
I would try to get insurance. Like, pay for mine. Okay, Eileen, is it really worth to get a Chanel Mini versus small? Or if get the small, might as well get a medium? I'm confused. The mini wait list is so long, but the price of the small and the medium is almost double. Oh, This is the ultimate question. Mini or small? Small or medium? What's your answer?
True. But I've had the experience, I guess. So for me, the longest time I could not make myself spend the money for the classic flap, whether small or medium. I just couldn't make myself spend that money. So for me, the answer at the time, it was always to just buy my minis, because that was the closest thing to what I can, well, afford, and also that I don't mind buying, that can satisfy my cravings for a classic looking bag. Um, Having said that, it's kind of funny because the price of the classic flap back then is like the price of the mini right now. So, but it's the same. It's all
Yes.
relative, right? Because that was the financial situation at the time, the prices at the time, and it is what it is now. So, so are you just confused because the wait list is long? Because if your heart is set on a mini, I would still just wait for the mini. But if your heart was, you're just, you're just waiting for the mini because the mini is more worth it, but you really wanted a classic flap, then I would still shoot for the classic flap. Focus on exactly what you want.
Yeah, absolutely. I think don't get the size because of the price. Yes, the price is substantial, but it's sort of like the dilemma that a lot of people had. Should I buy the medium large or buy the jumbo? It's only a few $100s cheaper. But if it doesn't suit your lifestyle, if you're not going to wear it, you find it too heavy or it's too small, you end up not being happy with the purchase just because you looked at the price. So really look at the bag that suits your life first, whether it's the mini, small, or the medium, and then figure out the price.
Yeah.
Yes, see. What do you think of the Chanel Business Affinity? FOMO kind of made me buy it a month ago, but only because everyone says it's a seasonal style. Oh, it is a
Mm.
seasonal style. Is it seasonal?
It's the one with the top hand, like it's the one that looks like the pochette Mitsis a little bit. I have always considered that style too, but I don't know if you guys remember. So every time I try to buy that bag, there was something that I didn't like. It would either topple, like fall over, because it has. I'm pretty sure it has feet, but it just isn't. It isn't stable at all compared to the Coco handle. The Coco handle is still more stable than the
Mm,
Affinity. And there was also something else that I didn't like, because I tried to buy it several times. The other time, it was something about the chain and the way it was attached. It just looked very, not flimsy, maybe a bit flimsy, but it kind of looked cheap. Like it didn't give me, oh, this is a Chanel bag kind of vibe. So I never bought it because of that reason. But I do agree, it is one of the styles that is really cute. Like it really is really cute. That's why I was very attracted to it too every time. But I just never end up buying it because every time I went to see one, there was something wrong that I didn't like. Um, FOMO made you buy one. What do I think of it? I actually like it. So as long as you love it, I think, right? Do you know which one I'm talking about?
I think I know. I think it's the one that Jerusha had. She had it in the
Yeah,
bigger
yeah, yeah,
size.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I actually considered getting that bag in black when I was looking for a black bag. It was actually one of my choices. I didn't go for it. I'm trying to think why. I think for me it was a little bit too, uh, like the small was a bit too small for a work bag, and the big was a little bit too bulky for me for a big bag. And I'm trying to remember if I watched Jerusha's video, and she said that she had an issue with it. I swear I can't remember, so can't give the best advice for this.
I don't think she said there was an issue. I think for her it was one of those things where it was a functional bag for her, but it's one of those things where you just feel like the quality is not the same
Mm,
quality. Like, yeah, it says Chanel on it. It has the whole Chanel, the cool thing, the caviar, everything. but it's just the quality itself. Like when you hold the bag, when you use the bag, it just doesn't feel like you're, what you're used to in a Chanel bag, like quality wise, structure wise. And just for me, it was like every time I put it down, it just falls. And brand
Right.
new, like out of the box, right? And the other time was the strap. I just didn't look the way it was twisting and just very thin. Like to me, exactly, I didn't like the quality of it. But some people do. And Gina has the larger version. A long time ago,
She
she
loves it.
had the larger version, and she loves it, right? And also, I think back then it was leather lined too, so maybe the quality back then was better too. But
Mm,
it also depends on the season. I think
correct.
we always say it here too. Like every season is slightly different, and who knows? Maybe maybe you ended up with a really nice one, and I don't know. I wonder. I almost wonder if you're regretting it because it's not exactly what you wanted initially, and you're just buying it out of, everyone's buying it. But do you actually like it in the end? Right? Do you actually like it? Do you think you'll use it?
Mm.
It doesn't matter what we think about the business affinity because Chanel still keeps making it for a reason because it's the
Yeah,
popular bag. It's still a
it's a
very
popular bag.
popular bag. So
Maybe they fixed the thing. Maybe they have.
maybe.
It's the same as one of the old bags from LV. When I got it, it used to topple over, and
Mm.
now it doesn't. So it could be a new thing. I had that bag at the twice. Oh, okay. So we're really over time, but so hope you guys don't mind. We're a little late. Tons of questions. We're gonna get through all of them. Told you today's chat is gonna be lively. It's got a lot of things about FOMO because we're all passionate about luxury, right? Okay, I'm back happy. I was so guilty of dipping into my savings last year, but when I bought the Diana flat at such a good price, no regrets because now whatever's being sold at double what I paid. So good, I
Mm.
gave it. Yeah, so that sometimes FOMO works out for you. Okay, sometimes as long as you're responsible, it'll sometimes work out for you. MK is here. Could not wake up on time. Hi, MK. I mean, you wake up a little earlier, a lot earlier. All right, here we go. Question. Try and get the questions. Mika, what item, whether bag, accessory, etc., that you would make you feel your collection will be complete for now at least?
Oh, I
Oh,
think I have two, or mostly one, but I'll say two, I guess. I'd like another piece of fine jewelry, like another bracelet for this lonely hand, and also I would love to just want to get my Birkin. I
yeah.
just want to get that Birkin. Oh my gosh. I think that would
Luxury, we
really,
need to
really
send
like
it out
I
to
would
the
feel
universe.
so content this year.
We need to send this out to the universe. All the Luxies, like, get Amy her bag for goodness sake. Oh my God, this is taking way too long.
I hope it's coming.
Everybody,
I honestly hope that I don't have to wait till next year. Fingers crossed.
100, what, almost 200 of us. Come on, send it out to the universe for her. Gosh.
Thank you in advance. What about for
Okay.
you though?
Oh, so we're gonna answer mine. Yeah, fine jewelry. Definitely, I would love to get one more. One more. I think
Mm.
that would really complete my stack obsession. And you know, I don't know if I really want a Kelly. I think I do. And I think I'm questioning it because it's expensive, right?
Yeah.
It's not something that I die must have. It would be nice, and I think if I have it, it would really complete my collection. I can, yeah, like from Hermes, but they have the other bags, like I think I'm just gonna talk about fine jewelry. I think what will complete my fine jewelry collection would be another love this stack, and I'm done. I've got my rings, I've got necklaces. I don't even have enough necks to wear it, but I would have enough hand space for one more. The
Hey, I want to
bags.
ask you. So between if both were available right now, if the Kelly was here and your classic flat was here, And let's just say that you can get the classic flap for a deal because let's say you're in France, right? Let's say you're in France.
Okay, I get both. They're both there. Like there's a Kelly at Hermes. What's the main store for Bosch or something? Yeah,
Beau.
for Bo. Okay, that one. And then opposite the road, there's this gorgeous colored Chanel classic flat
Yeah.
waiting for me. Only can get one. Ah. Hmm.
Because remember, you don't know if you actually need a Kelly. You just said that.
My Chinese brain is saying go for the Kelly.
I know. I would too.
You stupid ah! You stupid ah! Of course take the Kelly lah. But the heart's like, but that Chanel, that color. But then the Kelly could be a beautiful color as well, right? So sorry, my brain is saying go for the Kelly, just because
Okay, no, wait. The difference is you have to get the Kelly in like Singapore, right? But you can get the Paris cheaper. Classic flap.
Pass. This question is too difficult.
Never mind.
It's giving me unnecessary FOMO.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
Right, Eliza. Kat, can you consider the YSL puffer as an everyday bag? I live in Sabah, by the way. Oh, Sabah, yay! Yeah, definitely. I actually have it outside because I haven't been going out. But when I go out, I either grab this bag now or I grab my Bottega when I don't need to take my things. But I love using this bag. I say it's every day because actually the lambskin is quite tough. But if you treat it like a canvas bag, kind of every day, then no, it's not. It still needs to have a bit of care and love. It's not a canvas bag, right? It's still lambskin, but it's a hardy lambskin. Oh, okay. All right, just a few more. What are the bags? Oh, okay, makeup. What are the bags that got away? You had
there's a
your
few.
Pearl. Your pearl
I think
bag
I
got
mentioned
away?
the pearl bag from Chanel. Well, it's not. There's another one that didn't get away, but I actually had it and then I sold it and I regret it. It's the rose gold. What season was it? 17B, rose gold mini. That one kind of got away, but it was my fault. I think that's it. Is there anything else? I don't know.
I think that's it. I think for you that was
That's
about it.
for me.
The one that for me got away, I FOMO at things, but I'm quite good at just forgetting. So
Yeah, me too. I mean, I forgot about it now, so it's fine.
I'm trying to think of anything that I feel like, oh, if only. Oh, actually, there's one. It is, and this is sort of like a brag regret. My Chanel Mini Square in blue. I sold it thinking that I wanted to get a green color.
Yeah.
And I did, it's not a mistake. I was trying to be responsible where I sell first, take the money, and then buy Chanel. I should have known better that Chanel flies off the shelf anyway, even in resale. That was when I was younger. So I decided to sell that, get the money, wait for it to get in my bank account, go to Chanel and say, I would like the mini square in khaki gray. As he looks at me, it's like, no, it's sold out. And now I have no mini square. So kind of like got away and I lost one as well. So other than that, no, I don't have many. Okay, Blue Point. Any early eye candy from 21B?
Yeah, some resellers have started posting some. The Cocoa Crush is coming back. The one with the adjustable strap, the little ball with the adjustable strap, that's coming back for the vanity, for the minis. I'm pretty sure there might be some, small leather good little pouchy things too, probably. But that's all I've seen so far.
seen nothing. I don't even know that was coming out. So hooray, no
It's
time,
still
don't
so
care.
early. 21B
so
is. I mean, it's so early, as in like it's not launching yet anywhere. But some places have already. The resellers have pictures of them.
Yeah. If you don't want FOMO, don't watch it. Okay, don't go and like.
Yeah.
But me, like I have no FOMO to 21 because I have no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. SV, any opinion on the Dior Bobby in large as everyday? I don't use Chanel for everyday. I have a comment on that, but I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I don't own this bag, but I can see it being a good everyday bag. It looks like a sturdy, pretty cool, like easy, like crossbody bag. It's just that the opening is cut out, right? So that might annoy me, but I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Why
quite
not?
a standard shape.
Mm-hmm.
Typical kind of like saddle bag, not saddle, but
Yeah.
that kind of shape bag, messenger size style bag. Kind of heavy though, so because it's full leather, like really really sturdy leather. And I agree, that cut out there because it takes like an inch on each side. So
Yeah.
if you have like a really large phone, you sort of got to go like this inside. Might annoy people, but some might not bother. My opinion is that if you want to get that bag in your everyday style, you might want to look in the resale market for this. One thing about the
Mm.
Dior Bobby, I think it had an upward trend. Like, if you like the style and you don't want to pay full price, it had a huge outward. Every single influencer was wearing the Bobby bag, but it's sort of died down. So if you still love the style, you can probably get a pretty good deal in the resale. I'm going to take 2 more questions. Ching, Kat, if your essay offers you a K25 goal tomorrow, will you sell most of your bags? Which bags? And will you dip onto your funds? Okay. If I was looking for a goal and it's here tomorrow, I can tell you what's gonna be on the chopping board. Like I have it in my head. They are up. They're hanging at the shelf, going like, I'm next. I'm next. I know I'm next. My jumbo. Okay,
Mm.
my jumbo would be next. And I will probably pick either. I'm going to use the word either. Huh? The mini reissue, or even the caramel. And that's because I'm going strategic. Like I need the money. Like I need the money now. And I know that will fly off the shelf as well. So these
Premium.
two are at premium. Like if I don't get
Mhm.
enough of my jumbo, wow. Sorry, caramel. I gotta get the Kelly.
Poor caramel.
I don't know, maybe I'll sit there for a while. But right now, because I'm not in the thick of things, but these are the 3 I know I will be able to sell pretty quickly to recoup. Try not to dip into my funds. I've done that for my Cartier JUC, and I've shared. I dipped into my funds. I didn't have the money at the time. I dipped in. It didn't feel good. It felt like it stressed me out. Of course, I've recouped it. It's just that I don't like doing that. It's not a habit. I've done it several times in the past, but it's just something that I try not to because it's not something that I like to do. So, okay. I think I'll take this as the last question. I know you got a couple more, but very quickly. Yeah, Gwen. Hermes CDC, Hermes CDC, Hermes CDC 24.
Also,
the
mine or
CDC.
yours? Well, I'm biased. I like the CDC 24, so I'll say 24, but I don't know. Maybe Kat will have a different answer.
I have to admit 24 is better. I love my CDC, but I haven't worn it. I haven't. It need an occasion to wear it. It's an occasion. It's an occasion bracelet because you gotta be basically all dressed in black, plain, and that's your only accessory. Like kaboom, nothing else. Whereas for me, I have so many other things, right? So for me, if I want to wear my CDC Hermes, I I have to do a bit of work. I'm gonna take off all my things and take off my love bracelet just to make sure that that is the only statement bracelet that I have that shines, and it shines. So, but with the CDC 24, I think you can sort of layer it with other things.
So true. Yeah, you can definitely layer. Like I can actually layer my CDC 24 with this bracelet. I mean, obviously my arms are very plain, but I can layer it. And one thing I do like about the 24 is that the underneath you have no hardware, whereas yours you have hardware on both the front and the back, right?
It's a lot.
Yeah.
So layering, if you just wear, you don't have one, sure, I think you can go with either. Then it's just your style. But if you have other things that you want to wear, you know, stack your necklace and all, I would say don't go for the CDC. It's so much. So it's the thing that stands. It should shine on its own. Okay, I think that's all, right? I think that's all.
We keep getting more questions.
Yeah, all right, okay, people. This is the last one. All right, one last one. Eden, I mean, no, we love your questions, yeah, but everybody's like, oh, it's 2 hours. Okay, Eden, what is a good Hermes clutch bag for our evening events? Looking to add one, but not the Kelly pochette, and as I prefer the Kelly cut, and I also don't want black. Oh, what about the Jigay?
Jeesh.
Jish. Okay.
What I see, I think I always liked it when I saw it, people YouTube unboxing it, but I feel like the pouch version of it, of a bag, I always end up not wearing them. Like I like the idea, but I always feel like in the end, if I want to feel practical and still be put together, I still need some sort of handle. Yeah, so that's why, even though it is a great candidate, I don't know if I'll ever add it myself. I just have enough experience with different type of pouches. I had my Dior, I had my YSL. I just never end up using them, or not enough.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Like something the whole, right?
Yeah. I almost feel like I would rather wear a Kelly 25 if you don't like the Kelly pochette. You know what I mean?
I'm sure all of us would like the Kelly 25.
I know.
That's not a choice. It's not a choice.
But otherwise, I like the mini Kelly too. The mini Kelly, I mean. Mini Kelly 25, those would be my choice because I still prefer having a tiny little handle, at least something, something to hold it. For me, is so important for some reason. I just like it.
I can't imagine. I'm not a clutch person, so I've had some clutches, but I do find that when there's nothing to hold, you kind of like either stick it at your armpit, you know, grab it, you know, it's just you don't have your extra fingers to use. You gotta hold it like this. So yeah, but if you're looking for a clutch, like you just want that kind of style, flat style, I thought the jig would be pretty good as well. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we're like 20 minutes out. Thank you to everyone for all your questions. We hope you enjoyed today's live stream talking about FOMO. Make sure you follow us next week on Amy's channel. We're going to talk about the bags that won, okay? The FOMO bags that won, and we're going to talk about the ones that worked out, but also shared some that we sort of regret a little bit, you know, didn't work out so well. So, all right, before you go, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and yeah, we'll see you next week on the Luxury Live Show. Bye.